It'd be a good time, you know, a little bit early. I started sending it early, so we also give people enough time to get on. So I think we're doing a little bit better with the time. I think we're doing a little bit better with the time. All right, we're live. All right, y'all. Hey, good evening, everybody. We are back with our
Good
Bible
evening.
study, and we continue reading Matthew, chapter 25 and 26 that we reading tonight. And so, and we almost done. On Thursday, we'll be done with the book of Matthew. It go to 28 chapters. Uh, and we'll be done with it, y'all. So we finishing up on this, but we let's do a little quick recap. I'll, before we go to the recap, I'm gonna give a testimony. Uh, my buddy Daryl, he normally bees on here, and we was talking, and he mentioned he was at work when I'm with he's a fireman in Houston, and man, I wish he could get on and tell it, but I'll tell it. I'll tell a story. I like for people to tell, you know, what they experience. They tell it their self, but he's not here to tell it, and the story is so good. And so what happened was he said he was at work, and he's a fireman. They get a call for like what is that? What a cardiac arrest. And so most of the time, you know that hey, cardiac arrest, that's pretty much your heart stop beating. You know, people pretty much dead. And so he said you get there, and they talking to the lady or whatnot, with her husband, talking to him, and like, hey, what's going on? What happened to her? Like, hey, she had she's a healthy lady or whatnot, and you know, all she take is vitamins. She really don't have any health problems, and she just went on ahead and passed out. She came inside, made a noise, said ah, and she passed out. He said okay. And so they started doing like CPR, and the dad started doing CPR. Her husband, he did that. After he did CPR, you know, they arrived. Once they arrived, that's when it's like okay, cool. They started going to work. So mind you, a lot of times when they're doing that, they tend to not to have people around them. You know, meaning like, hey, they need a little area so they could go on ahead and do their work. You know, but for some Daryl, like man, for some odd reason, this time it wasn't, you know, they didn't kind of like have the family stay away. And so what he did was he heard the dad talking. He said, "Hey, no." Before I get to that part, I'm sorry, I don't want to jump ahead in the story. So he said he's doing the work, doing the work, doing the work, and that's when the dad walked by them. As dad walked, you know, through them and by them or whatnot, the supervisor came in and asked, and he said, "Hey, uh, does she have a pulse?" And he was like, no, she don't have a pulse. And a lot of times we see that, you know, they asking that just so they could stop. Because, you know, they working, they shotgun, doing everything, you know, to bring the person back alive. And so he said, nah, not yet. So they're like, okay, no problem. So they continue working. You go on ahead, check the pulse on the groin area and the neck area. Still doesn't have one. All right, no problem. So with that, he said, man, they still gonna work. That's when dad come out here and say, hey, is she doing all right? He's like, hey, she don't have a pulse right now. So in their mind, you know, they're like, hey, she's probably not coming back. She's gone. We just trying. So that's when dad goes on ahead and goes to the son and say, hey, son, and the son is autistic. This is the important part. The son is autistic. He said, hey, go on ahead, go to your by your mom or whatnot and pray for your mom. We need a miracle. So as they are working, he's doing it, right? You know, Daryl, he's listening or whatnot. And so that's when, out the norm, they let the kid come over there and lay hands on his mom and start praying for her. You know, so kid praying, they still working, doing chest compressions and everything, top. They doing that. All of a sudden, that's when the supervisor came in. And so when this guy comes in, a lot of times when he comes in and he asks, "Hey, we, you know, what's going on? You know, we do they have a pulse and everything?" And when he comes in, it's like, "That's it. That's gonna be it. You know, it's done deal. This we gonna bring her to the hospital or not. You know, person not making it." And Daryl looked at it like, "No." She doesn't have it. And that's when he said, as he's doing that, the son stood up, and that's when he said, wait, he checked the lady again. The lady had a pulse. He was like, wait, hold up. She has a pulse now. And I'm like, okay. So the supervisor like, okay, you sure? You're like, she has a pulse. Checks her again, had a pulse. All of a sudden, the lady eyes wake up. Well, she opened her eyes, and he like, whoa. He like, man, this lady's back up. And so he talking to her like, hey, tell me your name. And she said her name and things like that. And and they say a lot of times with people who have cardiac arrest, I'm not sure if anyone on here is like experienced with dealing with somebody with cardiac arrest or whatnot. I'm not. I've seen it at work, seeing things like this, but I don't know the medical terminology or how far they go X, Y, and Z. So he said, hey, the lady looks pretty normal. And, and so as he looks at, he like, hey man, what happened? Do you know what happened? She like, hey, I just came inside and I passed out or whatnot. And that's when the dad told Darren, like, hey man, my son is autistic, but my son has a direct connection with God. You're like, man, when my son pray for people, things change or whatnot. And as I'm listening to Daryl talk, I said, brother, you literally just seen a woman be raised from the dead. I said, you literally just seen the Lazarus. That's what you seen just now. And as he what's up, Flo? And as he's talking to me, I'm like, man, you literally just seen that happen. And he said, man, I'm getting chills. I get chills every time I tell this story or whatnot. And so I was like, man, I'm gonna ask him if he could make contact with her and just see, ask her experience or what happened. It's just a person testimony. And what I'm getting at is that, man, you have miracles happening to people every day. We see it. We may not even notice it, but miracles does happen. And people get raised from the freaking dead. You were like, dude, this lady was dead. Her heart was out of there. Nothing was pumping. Nothing. It stopped. Nothing. He said we shocked her, did everything. She was done, man. She was flatlined. And so they continue to bring her to the hospital, right? As they brought her to the hospital, the doctor was like, hey, is this the lady who had the heart attack, cardiac arrest or whatnot? And he was like, yeah. And he said he's looking at them. What's up, Tony? He's looking at them like, you sure? He's like, yeah. Because normally, I guess when people have cardiac arrest, it'd be a lot of things that affect their body or not. And so she just appeared to look normal. And so I was like, man, that literally was the power of God right there in y'all face. Y'all see this or not? And this kid did this. And that's why I always say, hey, autistic kids, man, a lot of times I think that they be closer to God than we are. For whatever the reason may be, whatever the reason the link may be. But they have that power with them. So I wanted to tell y'all that, and I was so excited when he told me this. I was like, I can't wait to tell the group. You know. So yeah, that was.
Well, what you say, my bad? What you say? You say maybe they closer to God than we are. That what you say?
So I will. So you know how they're not normal, right? Like normal how we are seeing normal, right? Yeah. I think that they have something. God put in them something else that's stronger, something closer. Whatever that link may be, I'm not sure what it is, but
right.
I never look at autistic kids like, oh, they just since they're different, right? Something's wrong. No, I don't think that. No. I think that it's a reason that they're this way, and they probably have a closer relationship to God than what we do. Like for instance, like I can give an example. The kids who may be nonverbal or not. Right. We thinking, oh man, they don't want to do this or can't say this and that X, Y, and Z. Dude, right. These people, they probably choose not to talk.
Let me piggyback off of that. Let me piggyback off of that for y'all. I have a friend, and her son is artistic. And I tell you, this kid is amazing. He's a grown man now. He's no longer a kid. He's a grown man. But he has read the Bible, and this boy have a way of telling you things. And you'd be like, how you know that? And he'd be like, I don't know, I just know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
When I tell you highly intelligent and can stand up there, you would never know it by looking at him that he's artistic, that he's on that spectrum. Because you can see it a little bit, but it's just a very little bit. You got to be paying attention.
Hey guys, I have something to say about that. I went
Hey,
to work at a school. I went to work at a school for 3 months and they put me in an autistic class. And that's when I got my full understanding of that was a kid who mama came back to the school, brought me like a little note and like a speaker. And he never said anything to me for the 3 months I was there. It was called the Meyerland Red School or something. Why he memorized everything I ever said out of my mouth
Wow.
and told it to his mama. He says she has a son that gets in trouble. Everything I ever told somebody, the little boy retained all the information and repeated it when he got home. That
It's
right there
amazing.
is, yes,
That's
autistic is
amazing.
amazing. And it is what it says it is, art. It is total art.
Yes. Yeah.
It
That's
is total
Terrell,
art.
excuse me, y'all. Terrell, did you send it to anybody at the hospital?
no. I something in the family group.
Okay.
Um. So, but yeah, it's that's amazing. That's totally amazing. And when you hear this, and it's like when you think about kids who may be autistic and things like that, I'm like, nah, I think they'll tap in more. They didn't have a. I'm not gonna say the word more, but I'm gonna say this: they are tapped in with God, or whatnot. They can reach a level, a direct connection with God. It's different from ours, or whatnot. It's just different. Like for him to, he said the kid, and what struck me was that he said this kid is autistic. I was like, why are you saying, he's saying the kid autistic? And he said,
But
man, it's
Terrell,
cool.
think about it, man. Artistic. And what God said, suffer the little children unto me. And most artistic people are like kids. Their
Yeah,
whole life,
yeah,
they're like kids.
yeah, yeah. Well, that's what you're right. You're right. And that was a testimony I wanted to tell y'all, let y'all know. So that was that. And now we get to get into Matthew 25 and 26. Now 26 is a little long, but 26 is going to be about Christ going to they're setting them up and they're about to go on ahead and try to kill him and all that. And so, but the funny thing is, in 26, we're going to see, we know how previously when the Pharisees and the Sadducees and the priests would ask Christ questions and things like that, right? Uh, it was funny as I was reading, what stuck out, at the latter end, when Christ was asking the Pharisees questions and things like that, and the priest wasn't around. But now we see all of a sudden the priest is the head part of the gang again. They pop back up. I say, oh, look at this, you know. And so I say, man, these priest guys, there was something else during that time or whatnot. And just the weight that they had, within all the groups. But let's start reading. For anyone who's new, I read from NLT, then I read from King James. You parallel or whatnot. And then you read it for context purposes or whatnot, so we can have an understanding. I know some people can read King James strongly and get it, and then some may not. So I read it for the ones who may not, and also sometimes myself when I understand the context of it, I read from the NLT. But also for like words and things, if you want to know what certain words mean, or the Greek, Latin, or Hebrew term for the words, y'all can always go to Bible Hub, and look for the Lexicon Bible. They have those are two apps or not. And so what they do is they literally translate every word that's in the Bible, strong concordance or whatnot. They translate it, and so you can have an understanding of what it may mean. Because sometimes the word may mean multiple things at once, just like in the English language also. So let me start. Matthew 25, verse 1. Parable of the 10 bridesmaids. And so this Jesus talking is in highlighting where we know that is Christ talking. 1. Then the kingdom of heaven will be like 10 bridesmaids who took their lamps and went to meet the bridegroom. Verse 2. 5 of them were foolish and 5 were wise. Half and half, y'all. 3. The five who were foolish didn't take enough olive oil for their lamps. Verse 4. But the other five were wise enough to take along extra oil. Verse 5. When the bridegroom was delayed, they all became drowsy and fell asleep. Verse 6. At midnight, they were aroused by the shout, "Look, the bridegroom is coming. Come out and meet him." 7. All the bridesmaids got up and prepared their lamps. Verse 8. Then the five foolish ones asked the others, "Please give us some of your oil because our lamp are going out." So they wanted some of the other ones oil. Verse 9. But the others replied, "We don't have enough oil and we don't have enough for all of us. Go to a shop and buy some for yourself." Notice what they said. Hey, go to a shop. Leave this post, leave where you at, go look for some, and then come back. Right? Notice that. That was stuck out with me, y'all. Go look for some, buy some, then come back. Come back to the same place. Verse 9. But the others replied, "We don't have enough for all of us. Go to a shop and buy some for yourself." Verse 10. But while they were going out to buy oil, the bridegroom came. Then those who were ready went in with him to the marriage feast, and the doors were locked. Verse 11. Later, when the other five bridesmaids returned, they stood outside calling, "Lord, Lord, open the door for us." Verse 12. But he called back, "Believe me, I don't know you." He said, "I don't know you." And so in the King James Version, it says, and I'm going to start from 11, it says, "Afterward came also the other virgin saying, Lord, Lord, open to us." Verse 12. But he answered and said, "Verily, I say unto you, I know you not." 13 from the NLT. "So you too must keep watch, for you do not know the day or the hour of my return overnight." And so what he's talking about is, you're like, hey man, just stay in the word. Just stay watching, paying attention to what's going on. Because you know how like in 12, what that is, 24, 23, 24, they say, that Bible word, let's say, no man know the day or the hour. Of course we don't know the actual day or the hour or not. But if you keep watching and you see the times and what's going on, like you don't know it's going to be June 21st at 4 p.m. in the morning, 4 a.m. in the morning. Yes, we don't know that. But if you keep on watching for the times and what's going on, you will know that it's getting close. That's the thing. You will know. And so we see Christ saying 13, "So you too must keep watch, for you do not know the day or hour of my return." And a lot of people don't think that Christ is coming back. They're like, man, he did his part. Why he got to come back? Because it's a part that, well, it's the additional part. Like, it is finished, right? And so he had to come back for what he finished. He has to come back up for it. And, you know, that's why we see, maybe like, man, the church is the Christ. I mean, the church is the bride. And that's what he's talking about, the bridegroom or whatnot. Like the body of Christ. It's a bride, it's a marriage, meaning the one together, one being with him. Verse 14, parable of the three servants. Again, the kingdom of heaven can be illustrated by the story of a man going on a long trip. He called together his servants and entrusted his money to them while he was gone. Verse 15, he gave 5 bags of silver to one, 2 bags of silver to another, and 1 bag of silver to the last, dividing it in proportions to their abilities. He then left on his trip. And in 15, what he's talking about is, hey, everybody, all the believers, you have different levels for different believers. You have people who may be, hey, responsible for this side or these people or this action right here, right? And then you have the ones who may not be as responsible. They have a different ability, a different things they have to do. They have a hold on. Do your part. And that's what he's saying. Hey, everybody has different parts. Some may be more, some may be less, but everybody has a part or not. It's not like no one don't have their part, their ground to cover. And so some of these, we're gonna see that some of these folks did their part and some of them didn't. Verse 16. The servant who received the 5 bags of silver began to invest the money and earn 5 more. So, but if you look at it in the King James, right, you're gonna see the word talents. And what talents mean is money. but whatnot. So I just something so y'all can know. King James is going to say talents. Verse 17 from the NLT. The servant with 2 bags of silver also went to work and earned 2 more. So the guy who had 5, right? 5 bags of money. Then the guy who had 2, they took the money, they flipped it, they made more money. Bam, cool beans. Everybody happy, right? Investing, right? And then in verse 18 it says, but the servant who received the 1 bag of silver dug a hole in the ground and hid the master's money. So he ain't do nothing. He ain't do nothing. What's going on, Brother Patrick? He didn't do nothing, y'all. How many times we felt like we ain't do nothing? Have y'all ever felt that way? Feel like, hey, man, I ain't really doing nothing with the gifts that God gave me.
I have.
And so it's like, do y'all think y'all have to do a lot? Or do you have to do a little? And I asked myself that question before, and I was like, well, once you start doing, he start revealing. Because the fruits of your labor start showing. You know, whether it be, because everybody don't have the same job. You know, they got prayer warriors, they got people who healers. You know, everybody has a job in the kingdom. You know, they have a gift. And we all don't have the same gift. But doing your part. And, you know, you hear a lot of people say, man, what's my, I don't know what God has for me to do, you know? And I always like that. I'm like, have you asked him? You know, have you went to him in prayer over that and you ask him about it? And sometimes we may not like, you know, what that job may be. But I think keep doing your heart with it, because it's not going to be something that you are.
So, Terrell, I'll say something on that. A lot of times you ask for your purpose. Like, what's your purpose? And then when he show you your purpose, just because you don't want or you don't feel like it's your purpose, then you don't put as much into it as, you know, because we all want to do what's hot at the time. Like, think about the people that, we're going to just say, think about somebody that do hair.
Yeah.
And a purpose is hair. But then when hair slows down, they don't like hair anymore. But they just a mastermind at hair. This is what, and the hair is not always to make money. Like my friend Chandra now, she does hair for cancer patients now. At first, she has stopped doing hair, period. But now she's have a love that she's fell back in love with. Like she has fell in love with hair again after all these years. Because of the difference it can make. So when you ask for your purpose, ask for it fully.
Yeah, because I agree with that. You have to ask with that and be ready to receive that, because if you do it, if you're doing something that's not part of your purpose, it's gonna have it can do 2 things. It could trample you and it could bind you.
And it could feel heavy. When you start doing things that's your purpose and you like it, I'm telling you, it doesn't feel like nothing. It doesn't wear you down. It doesn't do anything. You will know when something is not for you.
Yeah. It would not be, you're right, ain't you? It would not be a heavy burden.
Nope,
God
it will not.
He would, if y'all, I'm glad she said that. If y'all notice that, with the Father, he don't give you, now, of course you got to put in work, right? Like you have to do, right? But your purpose and what you love or whatnot, it's like she said, it doesn't even seem like work. It doesn't seem like work. It doesn't seem like, oh, this is something I have to do. A good example for me is me doing this. One of my buddies like, man, T, you really be doing this. A lot be going on. So I'm like, bro, I got stuff going on, but I enjoy doing this. I do this. This doesn't seem like no burden to me. Doesn't seem heavy.
That's your purpose, boy.
You're right.
This our purpose to be the disciples right behind you, learning from you, learning we can learn, and then our turn to go teach the rest. That's our purpose.
And
that's what I'm looking at.
That's the body of Christ. But what I'm saying is, it doesn't feel like she said, work. That's how you can know. It's like, hey, when something doesn't feel like work that you're doing or not, it's like, man, you mean I'm bonded to this and that? I don't feel like doing this. You can imagine this, you saying this, that, God, you told me to do this, just my purpose, but I don't feel like doing it because I don't like doing it. I don't like doing it. That could never be your purpose. And I'm talking about when you can speak it from your heart. Man, I don't want to do this. He would never give you some. Go ahead. What you about to say, T?
I'm sorry, man. My bad. I wanted you to touch on when you get that assignment of your purpose and the fear that it instills on you, knowing that you've been assigned to such. Like, 'cause some people will ask for it and it'll be revealed, and it's like, man, this actually is kind of scary, and you start to retract. How do you gain the strength to still do it?
That's perfect. That's perfect, man. So in situations like that, right? I mean, you are showing what, hey, this is what I have to do, and it could be so big or seem so big to where you want to retreat, right?
Yep.
What happened to in the book of Jonah?
That's
The
what I'm
way the
about.
book of
Well,
Jonah. What he did? He was like, "Oh no, I'm not doing this," and God said, "No, yes, you are doing this." And he put him in that well. He got out, and what he went did? He went did it. It's like no matter what, you can't run from your purpose. That's the thing. It's like you may say, "Hey, man, I'm not doing that this moment." Now, okay, perfect. God will make adjustments and align you and put you back in a place to where you will do your purpose or not. He needs you to do what he needs you to do. And so, especially when it's aligned with your purpose, you can't we can't avoid our purpose. You know, it's like, how do we get it? Either you're gonna get it now or you're gonna get it later. Like I've been supposed to do this. God knows how long ago. Only he knows. But eventually it came around and I started doing it. Been aware of it. A little hesitant. But it came around. It finally came around and I started doing it. And it's going how it needs to go. So also this, a thing of that is that timing, right? Like God knows the right timing. And so don't never think that, hey, the timing, your timing is wrong, you know? Like it's like, hey, I'm supposed to do it today, next week or not, and I didn't do it, and now I'm feeling some type of way, or I'm feeling down about the matter. Now, when it's supposed to come, it will come or not. You got to think the way that God thinks, and the way that He said, is way far more in depth and beyond what we can see. Way before that, and also this, He already knew that, hey, Tremaine, Terrell, Londa, whoever, y'all was going to do this. That was already part of it or whatnot. So that's not it. He just needs you to get into that because you can't run from it. You can't run from it. And I think about Jonah. This dude, he tried to go the other way. God just literally just grabbed him and put him back there. Okay, Jonah, here. Look. But then we see later on when Jonah did it, he was a little bit mad after that too. You know, so he still had some issues within doing what he was supposed to do. It wasn't perfect. You know, when you look at it, it was far from perfect. But he still started. That's the thing. He still did it. And when you say the thing about fear, right? And you think about that, it's like, God, you see this matter, you're like, oh, this is a big thing. And that comes when one could think that overnight, dude, that's maturity in a way. It's like, but you're respecting it. You know what I'm saying? You're respecting the tasks that need to be done, because whatever it is, you are going to be held accountable for, you know, whatever it may be. And
You
so,
know, I was going to say,
Tiger.
Mr. Trout, that's excellent, because sometimes with our purpose, the Lord gives you something that's bigger than you.
Yeah.
That you have to grow into and meet the challenge of. And when you do that, when you overcome the fear or the challenge and you embrace your purpose, you find yourself in a different place. You find yourself in a place that you wouldn't have gone to had you not done anything or had you coiled back. So it's to grow you and challenge you.
Yeah. And you feel like you said, I like that you said that, Patrick, because in
I
the midst
love
of
what he
that, right?
said. I love what he said.
In
Something
the
to
midst,
challenge you.
and it's so that it goes, it forces you. Well, I'm not gonna say force, but it puts you in a position, in a place where of growth. And also this, Think about it. Growth is like when something is growing, right? That's gonna be a good analogy, yo. I don't have so. Hold on one second. Hey. Amen. Amen. So look, oh yeah. So look, I'm doing Bible study at my mother-in-law house. So she in the front listening.
Amen. Amen.
And so, but I'm gonna give this analogy. When for guys, or even women, when a guy he going ahead, Patrick, you got dreads, right? When you first cool beans, everybody want to have their hair going, right? You want to do dreads, fine, perfect. When you first started out, that didn't look too good. You know, it's like your hair gotta grow, especially if your hair was short or whatnot. Then it had to grow a little bit. Then you probably got braids or whatnot, or then they just started growing. Then you had to get the little bitty locks. You know, then you're like, man, this don't look like the ones that I actually want. I want the bigger ones or whatnot. The nice, long, pretty ones. It's looking all nice and together or whatnot. That was a process. So that growth wasn't good. You know, it's doing what it's supposed to do. It's growing. You know, and the process is never all peaches and cream. But also this, when God gives you a purpose, you won't go on ahead. He won't leave or forsake you in that. Like you will be guided on the right way. It wouldn't be like you walking down the street blind. You're walking down the street blind. You always have people in place at the right time to meet you or whatnot, to go on ahead, to nurse that and get you along that route that you need to go in the midst of that. And so a lot of times in that moment of growth, when we're doing that, it's not God, it's ourselves. Like you saw that, a good example with Jonah, it was Jonah or whatnot. Who was the issue? So a lot of times when we have a big assignment or not, we let ourselves get in the midst of it. That hinders it. It goes back to us. We'll overdo something, or don't do something that hinders the process or the moment. And we like, and when it happens, then we like, dang, okay. And now we're like, oh God, I messed up now. You know, I messed up. Oh, that wasn't for me. Now we second guessing. No, it was for you. It was. Okay, we're gonna restart this or not. You just went on ahead. You just went on ahead and you chose to take control of the matter or not. Same thing what happened with Jonah. He chose to take control of it. Hey, and that goes back to trusting him. Literally trusting him. It's so easy just to sit back and trust God and just let him take the wheel versus us taking the wheel. You know? We so used to just handling things.
No, Terrell, that's not easy.
I was about to say, how could you?
Terrell, that's not easy.
No.
It may be easy for some. It may be easy for some, especially when you have become emotional, with emotional growth, or if you become what's the word I'm looking for? Like very like stable in the faith that you have in God, and like, but it's not easy. It's really, really, really not easy. Like it's one of like, it's hard sometimes. It's hard when you have, I'm gonna give you an example. It's hard when you have a kid, and as a mother, you want the best for your kid no matter what. So something is telling you, go ahead, just don't fall in. Don't give him nothing. Don't do this. Don't do this. And then he called you 2:00 in the morning. And he said, hey, I'm stuck out. That's a part of you that's just acting like a mama. Yeah. Knowing that at some point the word no should be regularly, but it isn't. So it's not easy.
Yeah. They mean to slam that Terrell, you know, just being honest and real with it, you know, we wouldn't be a congregation. It wouldn't able to speak, you know, the real what we really feel about, you know, things like that. Because if it was easy, I wouldn't be here now, you know. So I'm trying to make it happen, you know.
So let me add to what y'all saying. I'm glad y'all said that. All right. So I said it's easy, right? So I would say this. I understand exactly what y'all saying. Hey, it could be hard. It could be hard. And when we sit back, let me ask y'all a question. Have y'all ever sat back and reflected on, let's say, a matter, and y'all was like, bro, if I would have did it this way and I knew, it would have been a whole lot easier.
Of course. Of course. That what makes it difficult. Of course.
So
Of course, a
so
lot.
that's what I'm getting at. Meaning by it could
Of
have been
course.
easy. You know, the moment could have been the ride could have been a little bit smoother or not, but it's not easy because, and I was going to continue to say that we we so used to doing, inserting and being the one being a lead and taking, like handling the matters or whatnot. And when God said, "Hey, rely on me," we like, no, we gonna rely on self or
But I
whatnot.
can say what you just said. A lot of times, if you
Hmm.
just that gut feeling or that extra discernment you get, if you follow it sometime, the road will be just like a whole
Yeah,
lot easier. And then when you do it, and you be like, dang, I should have been did this.
and voila, magic. There you
It
go.
becomes easy once we learn.
Yes, that's what I'm
Once
saying.
you
So
once
it
you
comes
once you
Oh,
with
put them training
growth.
oh,
wheels on, learn from them training wheels. Okay, we getting there. Take them training wheels off. We got it.
Yeah. And I don't know
Now,
if we
now
all
it's
the way
easy.
got it, but yeah, listen.
Now I put that bike. Like I ride a bike, and then I leave a bike alone 20, 30 years and still come back to it. So you know what I'm saying?
The
So
situations get.
yeah, that's funny. I like your analogies with that, but you're right. And so, and that goes back to what Christ says. He said, "Hey, my burden is easy, my yoke is easy." And so that's what I'm tying that into meaning of saying easy. Like, hey, it's easy if we pretty much listen to him and let him handle it or whatnot. So, but like y'all said, I just growth, and sometimes it takes for moments like that, and you see that in those moments like that, you start growing. You start growing or whatnot. You start growing. I know one thing when I was growing up, I always did this. I always listened to older people. I always listen. I would hear them say things, may not even understand it or whatnot, but I would listen. And they would say, "Man, don't be like me." And I would be like, "Damn, what do you mean? Or what she mean?" She's like, "Don't do what I did." And now I want to know what they did. And they'll say whatever it was. And if the situation that was similar to that came about and approached me or not, I would think of that person. And I would be like, "Damn, they told me their consequences and what happened." Nah, I think I'm a chill. All because of what they told me. And a lot of things. I'm not saying perfect, but I avoided a lot of things because I will remember those conversations. That was only the Holy Spirit telling me.
man, I should have sat, but I sat
See,
right next
I'll
to
say
T in
this.
class. I sat right
I'll
next
say
to
this.
around in class.
I've watched what things can do to other people,
Man,
and then
Yeah,
I just didn't do it.
there go, there go. And
Me,
it's like,
I can
right.
learn vicariously through others. Like I don't have to burn myself on the iron after I see you burn yourself on the
yeah,
iron.
No,
I
yeah,
don't
no,
have to touch the iron.
no, you don't.
yeah,
And I
yeah.
see people do it all the time. I don't have to. If I see what it do to you, I'm gonna just go ahead about my business. You go ahead. Thank you for the example, and that's it.
Yeah, my dad used to say you walk around the holes that people fell inside of.
Oh, that's a good saying.
Yes,
That's a good saying. That's
that was a
wisdom.
very good thing. I don't know what's your name, but sir, that was a very good
Yeah,
one.
walk around holes that other people fell into.
That's a
And
very
we
good
gonna
one.
and we gonna see this that in verse 19 that well in verse 18 he's gonna fall into a nice hole. So let's continue reading.
So
Verse
he gonna fall
18.
into.
But the servant who received the one bag of silver dug a hole in the ground and hid the master's money. 19. After a long time there, the master returned from his trip and called them to give an account of how they had used his money. 20. The servant to whom he had entrusted the 5 bags of silver came forward with 5 more and said, "Master, you gave me 5 bags of silver to invest, and I have earned 5 more." 21. The master was full of praise. "Well done, my good and fellow servant. You have been faithful in handling this small amount." Keyword, this small amount. Now I will give you many more responsibilities. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Let's celebrate together. Look at the joy, the happiness. Everyone is all good. So, but in the King James, it said 21, same verse, it says, "His Lord said unto him, Well done, thou good and faithful servant. Thou hast been faithful over a few things. I will make thee ruler over many things. Enter thou into the joy of thy Lord." 22, in the NLT. The servant who had received 2 bags of silver came forward and said, "Master, you gave me 2 bags of silver to invest, and I have earned 2 more." 23. The master said, well done, my good and faithful servant. You have been faithful in handling this small amount, so now I will give you many more responsibilities. Let's celebrate together. 24. Then the servant with the one bag of silver came and said, Master, I knew you was a harsh man. Harvesting crops, you didn't plant and gather. And gathering crops, you didn't cultivate. 25. Watch this, y'all. Key word. I was afraid. See, you hear that word?
Yes.
He said, I was afraid I would lose your money, so I hid it in the earth. Look, here is your money back. 26. But the master replied, you wicked and lazy servant. If you knew I harvest crops, I didn't plant and gather crops, I didn't cultivate. That means that, hey, he going on ahead. Hey, I need you to go on ahead and plant this word in places where, hey, I normally wouldn't be. At least I could have gotten some interest on it. Oh, wait, I'm sorry, y'all. 27. Why didn't you deposit my money in the bank? At least I could have gotten some interest on it. 28. Then he ordered, take the money from the servant and give it to the one with the 10 bags of silver. 29. To those who use well what they are given, even more will be given, and they will have an abundance. But for those who do nothing, even what little they have will now be taken away. 30. Now throw the useless servant into the outer darkness, where there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth. And so that's literally somebody. It's like, man, bro, when you turn your heart, when God's showing you your purpose, and not you turn your heart from it. It's not, when you scared, you don't do it. If you got a heart for it, that's okay. But when you turn your heart from it, it's like, okay, you really, this your heart posture? Fine, all right. Now I don't know you, but I gave you something and you don't want to do it. Cool. Your heart is set to where you don't want to do it. Now I have to get you away from it. And that's what that is. 31. The final judgment. But when the Son of Man comes in his glory and all the angels with him, then he will sit upon his glorious throne. 32. All the nations will be gathered in his presence, and he will separate the people as a shepherd separates the sheep from goats. 33. He will place the sheep at his right hand and the goats at his left. 34. Then the king will say to those on his right, come, you who are blessed by my Father, inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the creation of the world. 35. This is very, very important, y'all. Watch this. For I was hungry and you fed me. I was thirsty and you gave me a drink. I was a stranger and you invited me into your home. 36. I was naked and you gave me clothing. I was sick and you cared for me. I was in prison and you visited me. 37. Then these righteous ones will reply, Lord, when did we ever see you hungry and feed you, or thirsty and give you something to drink? 38. Or a stranger and show you hospitality, or naked and give you clothing? 39. When did we ever see you sick or in prison and visit you? 40. And the king will say this, I tell you the truth. When you did it to one of the least of these, my brothers and sisters, you were doing it to me. That sounds like love to me, y'all.
Yeah.
That sounds like straight love. Treat others as you want to be treated. Do right by me. Heart posture. That's what it sounds like. 41. Then the king will turn to those on the left and say, away with you, you cursed ones, into the eternal fire prepared for the devil and his demons. Notice that in 41. Notice this, y'all. It says, prepared for the devil and his demons. Bruh, believers, God's children, that's not even made for them. That's not even made for them. It's not made for any one of us. It's not made. He said, prepare for the devil and his demons. For them. Why do people want to go there? They're setting themselves up and they're going there. So it's like, it's not for them. It's not for us. 42. For I was hungry and you didn't feed me. I was thirsty and you didn't give me a drink. 43. I was a stranger and you didn't invite me into your home. I was naked and you didn't give me clothing. I was sick and in prison and you didn't visit me. 44. Then they will reply, Lord, when did we ever see you hungry or thirsty or a stranger or naked or sick or in prison and not help? 45. And he will answer, I tell you the truth. When you refuse to help the least of these, my brothers and sisters, you were refusing to help me. And they will go away into eternal punishment, but the righteous will go into eternal life. And that's heart posture, yo. Heart posture. That's what that is. You know, that's a thing to have a heart full of evil like that, man. I can't even imagine how that feels. Like, how is that a comfort? You know, like that.
It's a real thing when you just genuinely a person that will help others, will help a stranger, will help whoever, and it comes so naturally. Like that comes natural too. People that can just help anybody, it comes naturally.
That's straight up God, man.
And not
Straight up.
expect nothing in return either.
That's straight God.
Yes.
Straight up.
Or you don't have to tell people
God.
what you did.
Is
That's another thing.
that's of God, right there. Because Moses did that. Moses, when God told Moses to hit that rock, Moses did not give glory to God. Moses told the people, "That's this me. This is me, y'all. This is me. Bang! I got this water for y'all." You know what I'm saying? So it's that's like you got to be pure for harder with that, huh?
And we saw Moses that make it to the promised land because of his heart
Exactly. So
posture.
you know what I'm saying? You got to be pure harder with that. So people are to the glory for themselves.
And that's all it's about,
Do
y'all.
it for something. Do it for something else. You know, do it to get something back. You know what I'm saying?
It's heart matters, y'all. Heart matters. I tell them, I'm like, but God, look at the heart. He want, in the Old Testament, they got circumcision. It's like, man, he's, and the law is like, hey, males got to get circumcised by the 7th day. And if not, the unclean in a certain way, you got to do it so they could be clean. But God, and then later on, we see, hey, you see Paul talking about circumcision of the heart, right?
Why you say
Circumcision.
that?
And it's like, circumcision, you're like, Paul saying, bro, you talking about the heart, circumcision of the heart. Like, hey, change that. Change that. You know, those ways you're doing things, what's in your heart and whatnot. That's what you want to clean up. Once that clean up everything up, now you can start working for you and everything starts flowing. And also this, you get peace in your life. That's what you get.
Yes.
You get peace in your life. So it's like you stop hindering yourself, you're getting peace. You're getting peace and you have rest in your life. Isn't that amazing that once you change your heart posture, you get peace and you have rest.
Right.
You're not in bondage to whatever that thing or the situation may be that keep you in that matter. And now you are able to fully be yourself and go on ahead and extend your heart posture to others with your love, your grace, your peace, and all the other things. Isn't that something?
Mm-hmm. That's once you become woke. What they say, once you become woke, who wants to follow Satan? Because if you notice, God got compassion for so many people except him.
Yeah.
Except him. You got no compassion. Automatically, it's over for you.
Yeah.
So once you become woke, you won't want to follow that boy no more.
Yeah. And like we said, we know he's a deceiver. That's how a lot of times that's how you get people by deception. Until people said deception. Matthew 26. All right, 26 is 75, but this one will be it's gonna be good, y'all. 26 is good. Oh, how y'all before we go, how y'all enjoying this book of Matthew? I'm thoroughly enjoying it, y'all. I'm like this. Like I really feel like I could read this again at a slower pace because there's just so much with this Matthew, man. Christ just be cooking that, and I hope that y'all are enjoying it also.
It's enlightening. It makes you think a little bit more. It brings you to a different level of understanding.
Yeah. It's a go. I like to call it a go book. Matthew 26. The plot to kill Jesus. Verse 1. When Jesus had finished saying all these things, he said to his disciples, as you know, Passover begins in 2 days, and the Son of Man will be handed over to be crucified. Verse 3. At the same time, the leading priests, there they go, y'all. Y'all see that? Now all of a sudden the priests pop up, and elders were meeting. Oh, there they go. We got another group. The priests and the elders were meeting at the residence of Caiaphas, the high priest, right? Plotting to capture Jesus secretly and kill him. Verse 5. But not during a Passover celebration, they agree, or the people may riot because they know how Christ was coming, how Christ had the people so charged up and just doing so much, and people are following him. So they are plotting a different way to go about doing this. That's exactly how the enemy try to plot on our lives. He plots. He plots. He can't be there all the time. He got his agents trying to plot on your life or not. Cause disruption in your life by plotting. Notice the enemy never just come. A lot of times, for the believers, the enemy can't just come in. He need a legal pass to get into your life and cause things to happen overnight. I promise. I go back to what Brother Joe was talking about with Joe. You need a pass to get in, because it's agreements. That's the only way. That's why you start seeing in your life when things are happening, it starts seeming small, like it's like little things, and then all of a sudden, then it starts building up. Because it's like, hey, it's like little collection points they gather, a little more room, a little more real estate they could gather. It start causing more confusion in your life or whatnot. And then all of a sudden, it's like, bam, it's nice and loud and crazy, and now you're like, oh my gosh, how I deal with this matter or not. So the enemy never isn't granted just access off GP in our lives, yo. They try to they sit there, they look, they plot, and they try to get legal access. So that's why you always want to stay prayed up and armored up and have your heart posture right in the line with God.
And it's crazy you say that, T, because it took us at this old age to really come to terms that we gonna always be under attack. Like it ain't gonna stop. It ain't gonna stop. And
It don't stop.
I think we had the perception like once we have that walk with Christ, these hardships go away. But
Oh my God.
sometimes
Oh my God.
sometimes they maximize, huh?
Oh my God. Say, bro.
Hey, T, I'm gonna make you laugh real quick. I saw a video the other day, and this lady was like denouncing Christianity, and she was like, I got tired of this walk with Christ because I just kept getting attacked left and right, and
Wow.
now I don't believe in God no more. I'm living a life, and somebody came and was like, yeah, because y'all on the same team now. You're not about to attack. He
That's
said no
funny.
way about to attack his teammate. But yeah, I think once we came to terms that, it's gonna always be some issues. Just gotta be ready for it, man.
Say, bro, man, you know what? It's funny because is that Bible word that said, a house divided against itself, it can't stand overnight. And that Christ actually said that. I think it's in Matthew. A house divided against itself, it can't stand overnight, So, but you're right. And that goes to show you, like, hey, man, look, Satan, if you rocking with that side overnight, the other side, yeah, he ain't gonna mess with you. Of course you're gonna have a good time. And that's why when people say, why do all the evil people in the world, they living good and life is good, nothing's, hindering them?
Because they
Because
on
they
Team Satan.
well. Yeah, they on team. Of course. That's
That's the
the
way of the
push.
world.
Yeah, that's what they get for rocking with it.
But if you pay attention to it, Jesus didn't have it easy.
He didn't.
And he didn't
He
tell
didn't.
us it was going to be easy. He said he would never forsake us. He didn't say it was going to be easy at all.
And he
None
said
of
he can
the
do it.
disciples didn't have it easy either.
They
None
didn't.
of
They
the
didn't.
disciples didn't have it easy either.
They
Right,
didn't.
right.
They
None
didn't.
of them.
But I like what Tremaine said. Like, man, this idea overnight, this perception that hey, it's gonna be easy when you know what I'm saying. You come team Jesus. No, no, it's not. But also, what it does is it gives you the capacity when you go through things and you grow. It gives you the capacity to be able to withdraw to deal with the matters or whatnot, and also you get to help others. That's the thing. You
Right.
notice that? Like, hey man, when you going through X, Y, and Z or whatnot, and then now you get through that matter or whatnot, you're like, hey man, this is how God got me through this matter. You're going to see someone similar who's going through it or whatnot. You're gonna be like, hey, this the tools I use. This how God got me through this matter. This the verses I was reading. I was X, Y, Z, whatever this is. I've been through the same thing you've been through. I identify with that. This is what I did. And this is how God got me through that. And you will be amazed at how far that will go for someone at that moment. That encouragement, that knowledge. You're like, oh my, thank you for that. Oh, not, Thank you
Yeah,
for
that's why they
reminding.
say community. That's why they say community is important because
Oh man,
like
Yeah.
Lanita said,
yeah,
it's levels. I mean, you said it a couple weeks ago, T man. It's levels to
Mhm.
faith, bro. Like people who
yeah,
just started to
Mhm.
walk,
Mhm.
they'll fold at the first sign of adversity. But if you got
yeah,
people that's been in the road for like decades, they're like, "Hey, that's just the beginning, bro. You're gonna get through it. Trust me.
yeah.
Just hold on."
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah. It's the Bible when Christ said that. It's in Matthew. Listen, like, hey, you matter of fact, planting the good fruit or not. Planting the fruit when he planted the seeds and all of a sudden they withered away. Fat. So yes, that's it, y'all. But the community and just stand in relationship with it. You don't lose. You don't lose. It doesn't storm forever. It doesn't storm forever. And I don't think I can't say for myself, I haven't met anyone that said, hey, when they stood with Christ, they stood 10 toes down and didn't fold. It didn't get better. But also when it got better, it was way more than what they could even imagine or expected. And also this, even the peace that came with that after they experienced that. That's the thing. How you mean to tell me I could get peace after going through this? So so yeah, and that's testimony.
She wasn't easy for Jesus either.
It wasn't. It wasn't. And we see that Christ himself, he was like, Lord, this is a lot.
He was like, "Oh, why have thou forsaken me?" He prayed so much.
Yeah. He,
Like, dang, why you must?
so you mean to tell me that if Christ said that, you don't think you gonna say that?
Man, I've been included in my prayers lately. I'm gonna be transparent with y'all. I grow weary like every 2 days, T. Like
Yeah.
every 2 days, I'm over here. I'm over here because you said something, bro. It's funny, like when you speak, I can relate to it. You said something a while ago. You said Jesus don't play with you when it's time to reprimand.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know,
man.
some people get a pop on the wrist, but some people get thrown across the room. Like I've been getting thrown
Man.
And
across the
see,
room,
I don't know
dog.
if I get thrown across the room. I'm not gonna say that, but I be thinking, and I don't know if it's my conscience, but the minute I like do something, I be feeling like he get me back
Oh, you
so
about to
quick.
get it? You about to
I
get
be
it?
saying, dang, like I know he don't give everybody else like quick back. Like, oh, I be and it's my conscience. I be saying I ain't doing that because he gonna give me back quick. I
For
don't know
real,
if it's
bro.
because he feel like I know. I don't even know why. I be saying he give me back
For
quick.
real. So I'm so enlightened with my prayers where I'm like, Lord, I know I'm about to be weary. Just give me the strength. I know I'm about to grow weary. Just
Yes,
help me through it.
this
Yeah.
is a real thing. Y'all, this is
Yeah.
a real thing. This is funny.
Yeah. This is people experience. Yeah, with Christ. Verse 6. Meanwhile, Jesus was in Bethany at the home of Simon, a man who had previously had leprosy. 7. While he was eating, a woman came in with a beautiful alabaster jar of expensive perfume and poured it over his head. The
Alabaster. Go
disciples,
ahead.
so they made him fresh and made Christ fresh. Bam, smelling good. You will actually get that now, alabaster, that perfume. You could get it now. Uh, Verse 8, the disciples were indignant, meaning mad in an uproar, when they saw this. What a waste. They said, verse 9, it could have been sold for a high price and the money given to the poor. Verse 10, but Jesus, aware of this, replied, why criticize this woman for doing such a good thing to me? Heart posture. And look who he's talking to. He's talking to the
So I
disciples.
said, oh, Pastor.
11, you will always have the poor among you, but you will not always have me. 12, she has poured this perfume on me to prepare my body for the burial. 13, I tell you the truth, wherever the good news is preached throughout the world, this woman's deed will be remembered and discussed. So she's the one who got Christ's body first. And he's about to go on ahead and lay down. And notice, and when they went to go get him, he didn't have a stench or nothing.
Oh
Hmm.
wow.
No stench or nothing. And this perfume,
Wow.
alabaster, y'all could get that this day. You could buy it. I
You
don't know
know
the
what?
price of it now, but you can.
I never thought about that like that since you breaking it down. I'm like, whoa, I never thought about that like that.
Yeah.
How she anointed. I mean, I know she anointed the body, but I never thought about, like what you just said, it's not smelling or anything. I never
Mm-hmm.
thought about that.
Mm-hmm.
Ah.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's very, very potent. I never smelled it before, but I read up on it and just from reading and then they're like, "That this stuff here sticks out, bro. Like it's very, very like it's a perfume or something. It sticks out." So
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
So Christ didn't have no stench because his body, because he was gone. So, yeah, 14. Judas agreed to betray Jesus. Then Judas Iscariot, one of the 12 disciples, went to the leading priest. Notice who he went to. He didn't go to the Pharisees or the Sadducees. He went to the leading priest. Oh, not the elders, the priests. I'm telling y'all, that priest dude, man, he is something else. Them priests, they are something else. 15, and asked, how much will you pay me to betray Jesus to you? And they gave him 30 pieces of silver. Y'all see that number? The number 3, number 30. Christ started his ministry at what, 30? He left what, 30 to 33? Y'all see how God like to use numbers and stuff like that? Y'all notice that Christ always used in parables, like for instance, the silver, the one where he gave the silver, 5 silver bags, he gave what, 2 silver bags, then 1 silver bag, it was 3 or whatnot. I want y'all to pay attention to numbers, how God pay attention with numbers. Christ was in the grave, what, 3 days? Like it's like so it's a lot of a lot of different things. How God he works, he like man, the intelligent designer, how he does things, use things, and work with numbers. It's amazing what he does. 16. From that time on, Judas began looking for an opportunity to betray Jesus. 17. The Last Supper. On the first day of the festival of unleavened bread, the disciples came to Jesus and asked, where do you want us to prepare the Passover meal for you? 18. As you go into the city, he told them, you will see a certain man. Tell him, the teacher says, my time has come, and I will eat the Passover meal with my disciples at your house. 19. So the disciples did as Jesus told them and prepared the Passover meal there. 20. When it was evening, Jesus sat down at the table with the 12. 21. While they were eating, he said, I tell you the truth. One of you will betray me. 22. Greatly distressed, each one asked in turn, am I the one, Lord? Y'all can imagine all the disciples and y'all saying, man, bro. Christ said, man, when are y'all going to turn? Ooh, like, man. Y'all think Judas knew? But Judas, he already knew because we see that he went on ahead looking for opportunity or whatnot. So his heart posture wasn't right. He already was with it, but the other ones, they tripping out. Like, man, what you talking about? I've been rocking with you the whole time, man. I would not do it. 23. He replied, one of you who had just eaten from this bowl with me will betray me. 24. For the Son of Man must die, as the scripture declared long ago. But how terrible it would be for the one who betrays him. It would be far greater for that man if he had never been born. 25. Judas, the one who would betray him, also asked, Rabbi, remember what rabbi means, teacher. I am the one. Am I the one? And Jesus told him, you have said it. You can imagine that happens and all the other disciples are looking at him and how they felt. I always thought when I saw this, like did one of the disciples want to go on ahead and just like sneak this dude, like beat this dude up. They're like, man, you gonna do what? And you know how I can see doing it, y'all? Simon Peter, the one who went on ahead and cut the guard ear. I could see him being that guy doing that. But I always wonder how they felt when Christ told them that and identified him as being the one who's gonna do it. 26. As they were eating, Jesus took some bread and blessed it. Then he broke it in pieces and gave it to the disciples, saying, take this and eat it, for this is my body. 27. And he took a cup of wine and gave thanks to God for it. He gave it to them and said, each of you drink from it. 28. For this is my blood, which confirms the covenant between God and his people. It is poured out as a sacrifice to forgive the sins of many. 29. Mark my words. I will not drink wine again until the day I drink it new with you in my Father's kingdom. They're gonna have wine in heaven, y'all. I don't know if y'all caught that. They're gonna have wine in heaven, y'all. 30. Then they sang a hymn and went out to the Mount of Olives. 31. Jesus predicts before I go on, y'all. So Y'all probably like, man, we read this in John in the other books, right? And y'all know they wrote this at. This goes to show you the accuracy of the Bible and God's word. Y'all know they wrote these different books at different time periods, right? Years apart from each other. And they sound the same.
Okay.
Right? Some people are like, man, why it sound like the same thing? Oh, if I say one thing, you say one thing, and they all sound the same or similar or whatnot, it has to be true. That's what most people say nowadays. These books were written at different times, yo. Different times, different accounts. And people would be like, man, the Bible not real.
Terrell, let me ask you something. Have you ever thought about the fact that with Jonah, he cared enough for Jesus to cut the man's ear off? He followed him that much, but he didn't have enough faith to die for Jesus. You see how it went?
Oh, you talking about Simon Peter?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Simon Peter was that dude. You know, you got that friend, your road dog, who just about whatever, who gonna roll with you. Crazy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He roared enough to cut the man's ear off, but he wasn't willing to die for Jesus.
Yeah.
About Judas.
No. So Judas was the one who.
Yeah, she's talking about Judas.
No, she's talking about Simon Peter.
She's talking about Peter.
Yeah, him. So
Okay.
Yeah, he's the one in John when they went on ahead when the guards were looking for him, right? And he put out the sword and he hit him on the head. Ow! You're like, man, let's get it on. And Jesus was like, nah, this got to be done. You're like, you tripping? Don't do that or not. It has to be done. That's what she's talking about. But Simon Peter is that one friend who about it like Master P, and who just who gonna ride with you or not. But also, like you said, still it's not fully aware. You know, like it's only so much that they're gonna ride. Because at one point, you know, we see Peter gonna deny him. You know, all because Peter's doing this, but he's like, nah, I don't know him or whatnot. But he's trying to still blend in. I don't think that he was doing it as in the sense of like, oh yeah, I don't know him, I don't know. I think he just was trying to play it out or whatnot. But then we see the consequences of it. 31. Jesus predicts Peter's denial. 31. On the way, Jesus told them, tonight all of you will desert me. For the scripture says, God will strike the shepherd, and the shepherd of the flock will be scattered. That means all of them leaving. 32. But after I have been raised from the dead, I will go ahead of you to Galilee and meet you there. And where they met at? In Galilee. That's where they met. 33. Peter declared, even if everyone else deserts you, I will never desert you. Y'all, Peter was crazy, y'all. He was not crazy. He was a wild boy. Like, he just was that loose cannon, just, he like, man, I'm with you, crazy, unrolling, no folding, just, you know, just be talking out his neck, right? You like, man, you're like, oh man, that Peter, something else, you know. But we seen that, you know, that he wound up denying him. 34. Jesus replied, I tell you the truth, Peter, this very night before the rooster crows, you will deny me 3 times that you even know me. 35. No. Y'all see this? Y'all see how Peter told you? Like, nah, I never do that. No, Peter insisted. Even if I have to die with you, I will never deny you. Y'all see how Peter is a rider, y'all? And all the others like, but also this. So Peter got all them riled up, right? And then he was riled up, and then they also said, and all the other disciples vowed the same. So Peter was the one who get the thing started, y'all. Peter was like, man, I'm the lead. I got this going on. Christ in this meeting. Look, maybe rolling with you. Or we're not. 36. Jesus prays in Gethsemane. And Jesus went with them to the olive grove called Gethsemane, and he said, sit here while I go over there to pray. 37. He took Peter and Zebedee's 2 sons, James and John, and he became anguished and distressed. 38. Y'all see that? Now Jesus, he knows about to happen. And now, and that goes to show the human side, how Christ experienced everything that humans feel. Like he's worried, he like anguish, he's distressed, like, oh my gosh. Now the full circle of what's about to happen is hitting him. Like he got hit with a bag of bricks, bam, hitting him. 38. He told them, my soul is crushed with grief to the point of death. Stay here and keep watch with me. He's hurting. He's angry. Like, oh my gosh, what's about to happen next? What am I about to go do or not? He's getting the full thing of what he's about to do. And that goes back to what Tremaine said, parallel to that, like how you saying, hey, when you see what you have to do, man, how big it is. Like Christ, like, whoa, this is something. This is a lot. But he still does it. 39. He went on a little farther and bowed with his face to the ground, praying, my Father, if it is possible, let this cup of suffering be taken away from me. Yet I want your will to be done, not mine. Y'all see that?
Mm-hmm.
Y'all see that? Christ's like, man, there's so much, man, can you take this away, man? Can you take this away? That's flesh. That's a lot. That's being a human. How many times we done said that? We done asked God that, man, please can you change this? Take this away from me. Take this because it's so much. But he still pressed forward. If that don't sound like a human, like one of us, I don't know what does. And get to show you the side of Christ where he's human. 40. Then he returned to the disciples and found them asleep. He said to Peter, couldn't you watch with me even 1 hour? 41. Keep watch and pray so that you will not give into temptation. For the spirit is willing, but the body is weak. I go to difference, y'all. Body, flesh, spirit, you wants to do it, willing to do it. That flesh is something else, y'all. That flesh powerful, y'all. That flesh is something serious.
Yeah, your mind be saying, yeah, come on, let's do it. Your body be saying, you better sit down.
Damn, there you go. 42. Then Jesus left them a second time and prayed, my Father, if this cup cannot be taken away unless I drink it, it will be done. You see how he's talking to the guy? He's like, look, all right, I'm asking you to go on ahead, man, lighten it up. But you know what? If it can't be, man, you know what? I'm going to do it. Let your will be done. 43. When he returned to them again, he found them asleep, for they couldn't keep their eyes open. 44. So he went to pray a third time, saying the same thing. Y'all know what to look at. 3 times. Look at that, y'all, 3 times. Then he came to the disciples and said, go ahead and sleep. Have your rest. But look, the time has come. The Son of Man is betrayed into the hands of sinners. 46. Up, let's be going. Look, my betrayer is here. So now that's when they pop up with Judas Iscariot and everything. Jesus is betrayed and arrested. 47. And even as Jesus said this, Judas, one of the 12 disciples, arrived with a crowd of men armed with swords and clubs. They had been sent by the leading priests and the elders of the people. Notice they wasn't sent by the Pharisees or the Sadducees. It was the priests and the elders, the religious folks. 48. Then the traitor, Judas, had given them a prearranged signal. You would know which one to arrest when I greet him with a kiss. 49. So Judas came straight to Jesus. Greetings, Rabbi, he exclaimed and gave him a kiss. 50. Jesus said, my friend. Oh, look at that, y'all. He said, my friend. Look at that. How many times y'all friends have betrayed y'all? Look at that, y'all. How many? Boy, this Bible be kicking. Jesus said, my friend, go ahead and do what you have come for. My friend. Look at that, y'all. Boy, if y'all don't think Christ experienced the same thing he had, people betraying you and doing stuff to you and stuff like that. 50. Jesus said, my friend, go ahead and do what you have come for. Then the others grabbed Jesus and arrested him. 51. But one of the men with Jesus pulled out his sword, Peter, and struck the high priest's leg, slashing off his ear. 52. Put away your sword, Jesus told him. Those who use a sword will die by the sword. 53. Don't you realize that I could ask my Father for thousands of angels to protect us and he would send them instantly? Y'all know that? So Jesus got mad at Peter when he did this. He really got mad at him when he did this because he knew that, hey, I have to do this. So that. And you messing it up, bro. You hindering it. But also, look at this. He also pointed out, bro, I know that my daddy could send angels to protect us. Look what it says in the King James. It said, 53. Thinkest thou that I cannot now pray to my Father, and he shall presently give me more than 12 legions of angels?
Destroy everything. Well,
You know what
man.
I'm saying? So Jesus is flexing. He's like, man, don't do that,
Legions.
man. You hear that, Joe, right? He said, legion.
Legions.
Legion. And what happened? What was in that man? Or when in a few chapters ago, he said, man, look, when the demon left, he said, man, what is your name? He said, legion, for there is many. One come, it's 7 legions of them. It's multiples, right? Man, Jesus is flexing. He's like, man, look, don't play with me, man.
Don't play
I
with me,
could go
boy.
ahead and call. I could go ahead and call my father, and he could make it happen. But you know what Jesus said?
It's like that.
50,
Well, forget them.
54. Jesus said this, 54. But if I did, how would the scriptures be fulfilled that the scribe must happen now? Look at that. So Jesus is aware that, hey, man, I can really set it up. But then he like, not my will, my Father's will. So you see how he's seeing both sides of it? He like, oh, y'all lucky. He like, man, he like, ooh, y'all lucky. 55. Then Jesus said to the crowd, am I some dangerous revolutionary that you come with swords and clubs to arrest me? Why didn't you arrest me in the temple? I was there teaching every day. 56. But this is all happening to fulfill the words of the prophet as recorded in the scriptures. At that point, all the disciples deserted him and fled. So they take Jesus and the disciples gone. So I'm gonna try. We're gonna get through this. It stopped at 74, I think. So I'm gonna try to finish this chapter. We got a few more minutes. It's 8:54. We should be done before 9, y'all. 57. Jesus before the council. Then the people who had arrested Jesus led him to the home of Zacchaeus. That's where the leading priests and elders was, the high priest, where the teachers of religious law, or there we go, not a scribes over there, and the elders had gathered. 58. Meanwhile, Peter followed him at a distance and came to the highest priest's courtyard. He went in and sat with the guards and waited to see how long it will all end, but how it will all end. 59. Inside, the leading priests and entire high council were trying to find witnesses who would lie about Jesus so they could put him to death. 60. But everyone thought they found many who would agree to give false witnesses. They could not use anyone's testimony. Finally, 2 men came forward. 61 who declared, this man said, I am able to destroy the temple of God and rebuild it in 3 days. So when when Christ had said that, he's talking about his body. They thinking they talking about the actual building. He's like, no, but that's what they were thinking. 62. Then the high priest stood up and said to Jesus, well, aren't you going to answer these charges? What do you have to say for yourself? 63. But Jesus remained silent. Then the high priest said to him, I demand in the name of the living God, tell us if you are the Messiah, the Son of God. Watch this, y'all. People be like, man, even the religious folks, at that time, they played into, well, not played into the end, they said it themselves. 64. Jesus replied, you have said it. You said it. You said, ding dong, King Kong, there you go. You said it. Voila, there you go. I am the Messiah. They still didn't catch on, y'all. 64. Jesus replied, you have said it. And in the future, you will see the Son of Man seated in the place of power at God's right hand and coming on the clouds of heaven. 65. Then the high priest tore his clothing to show his horror and said, blasphemy. Why do we need other witnesses? You have all heard his blasphemy. What is your verdict? Guilty, they shouted. He deserves to die. Mind you, people are shouting this is the religious folks by that time. 67. Then they began to spit in Jesus' face and beat him with their fists. And some slapped him. Jeering. 68. Jeering. Prophecy to us. You Messiah? Oh, wait. 68. Jeering. Prophecy to us. You Messiah. Who hit you that time? 69. Peter denies Jesus. Meanwhile, Peter was sitting outside in the courtyard. A servant girl came over and said to him, you were one of those with Jesus the Galilean. 70. But Peter denied it in front of everyone. I don't know what you're talking about, he said. 71. Later out the gate, another servant girl noticed him and said to those standing around, this man was with Jesus of Nazareth. 72. Again, Peter denied it. This is 72. Again, Peter denied it. This time with an oath. I don't even know the man, he said. 73. A little later, some of the other bystanders came over to Peter and said, you must be one of them who can tell, we can tell by your Galilean accent. 74. Peter swore, a curse on me if I'm lying. Look at Peter, y'all. Look how bold Peter be, y'all. Peter just be talking out his neck. I don't know the man. And immediately the rooster crowed. Remember when Jesus told him the rooster was going to crow? You're going to deny me 3 times, the rooster was going to crow. But look at this. Roosters only crow when? In the morning time. Y'all see that? Y'all see the time frame? All these hours that's going about. We're not. Because now it's in the morning time. Now it's in the morning time. 75. Suddenly Jesus' words flashed through Peter's mind. Before the roosters crows, you will deny me 3 times that you even know me. And he went away weeping bitterly. And that's the end of chapter 26, y'all.
What if that man was in survival mode? Like, what if he felt like, you know, because let's take it back to high school. How many times we took our shirt off and we was in the wrong school territory, and they're like, boy, don't you go to Kennedy? Like, wait, man, hold up. Like, I'm trying to get home. So I think maybe he was in, like, I'm outnumbered right now, something like that. I mean, you can clear it up if you want to.
And you know what? I think so. I mean, because if we look at the character of Peter, like how he, like, man, he was the one he was the rider when he get things started. He pulled out the sword. He like, Christ, man, I die with you. I'm going down with you. It don't matter. And then you see that Peter is the one who took out the sword, hit the dude on the ear, bam, cut off the ear, and Jesus was like, nah, don't do it, bro. I could have my daddy send the angels down. Don't do it. But scripture had to be fulfilled. And that's when all of them scattered about, went their own way, right? And that's when now, but also notice, Peter followed alone. As they taking Christ away, they say Peter. I'm not sure about the other one. Peter was right there just peeping it out, you know. And he probably like, man, listen, man, I seen him a ride with him, this and that, having all those thoughts. But when you go, because notice, he went to the priest in the elder's house, right? Well, he went by the priest and the scribes, right? The teachers, right? And he up in their facility. That's pretty much saying up in their house, right? Around that area, right? And you notice, man, some people come up to you and say, oh, you was with one of them, man. I'm like, nah. Because mind you, all of this happened. Peter denied Christ after they said, hey, we're going to kill him. You know, after Christ said, you know, they said he was the Messiah. So Peter probably was watching. He see all this going on and seeing how rowdy all these people was and all that. Peter was like, nah, man, I ain't with them dudes, bro. I don't know them. So I agree with the team. He probably was. He probably was, not knowing that he was going to do that. But Christ said it. So yeah, that's 26. And we got 27 and 28, and we all done. Y'all enjoyed it? Just enjoying?
I did. It was very enjoyable.
I enjoyed this.
I always enjoy the New Testament, bro.
Yeah.
I don't care what they say about Jesus in the story and how many people try to make believe like Jesus' story ain't real. It's such a great example. So still, you know, it's still a great story. So you believe it or not?
Yeah. It doesn't come back void. That's a good thing about it. It doesn't come back void. So that's it, y'all. If nobody don't have nothing else to say, I'll lead us out in prayer. And we continue on Thursday. We can get this in, and that'll be the last 2 chapters. Then we go to the next one, coming up on Monday. So, if anyone have any prayer needs or whatnot, y'all just say it, and we'll keep y'all in prayer. We'll do that.
But Terrell, I want to pray for peace with our family member. Just a peaceful situation, you know. I pray for strength for all of us to get through it.
Most definitely.
Thank you.
Yeah, most definitely with that.
For real.
All right. I'll sort it out. Our Father, which art in heaven, thank you for this day. Thank you for this time, allowing us to fellowship and be in your word and just spend time in your word. You know, we have a whole lot of life going on, other things we have to attend to, but it's not like spending time in your word and understanding and chewing on it and applying it to our lives or whatnot, so we could be better kids. You know, you continue to teach us. I ask that you continue to give us grace, peace, strength throughout this week, especially my family members. Continue to impart peace on them for this week. And also others in the Bible study, in our family, friends, and extended family, friends, and even our enemies, Heavenly Father. Give them strength, peace, and heaven be with them, Father God, because you say you will make our enemies, footstool. So just be with us, continue to love us, continue to have your Holy Spirit minister to us, and protect us from all hurt, harm, and danger, seen and unseen, in places, Father God, because we understand that we are fighting against principles and principalities in high places. For your word and your praise and glory. Thank you, Heavenly Father. In Jesus' name, amen.
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 Amen. So I love y'all, and I'll see y'all on Thursday. Be back on Thursday.
I love you guys, and y'all have a blessed week.
Y'all
Continue
have
to
a good
pray
one.
and be safe.
God
Absolutely.
bless.
See y'all Thursday.